Welcome, everybody. Today we have Eric from Pasadena, Texas. Today, how's it going, man?
It's going great.
That's awesome. So you're with us because you've just started wearing a hair system recently, and how's it going?
Was a little timid at first. Definitely shocking because it's a big difference. Used to having no hair, and you go to having beautiful hair. I'm loving it. It's amazing. The feedback is amazing. The way I feel is amazing. So overall, just love it.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So we got a bunch of different things that we want everyone to kind of stay locked in for because Eric's got some great perspective later in the conversation and things you're going to want to hear about really challenging whether or not you can do this with an active, sweaty lifestyle. Spoiler alert, Eric is inside of construction. He's out and he's sweating. So this is something that you're going to want to hear. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that kind of stuff. But let's get into it, Eric. Tell me a little bit about your hair loss journey that you have been on for, well, tell us. How long?
Yeah. So I'm 37 years old, and I started noticing my hair loss around the age of 21.
Yeah.
It happened pretty much over a 6-month span. I lost it all. I got in a pretty bad car accident, and I remember taking showers, and as I was washing my hair, literally globs of hair would come out. And then whenever I woke up in the morning, my pillow would be full of hair. So it was a traumatizing experience, which I think kind of sped up the process. And just over time, I've lost a little bit, but majority of it was within that 6-month range right after I had the car accident. So, yeah. So ever since then, just been getting a bunch of hats. My closet's stocked full of hats, and just it's always bothered me for some reason. So,
yeah. Do you have any inclination as to why it's bothered you all these years? I mean, were you afraid of losing your hair before you lost it?
No, I never even thought about it. My dad actually has decent hair. My grandfather's bald, but I don't know. It just never crossed my mind. And I guess I had really good hair whenever I was younger, so that kind of affected me, not being able to style or even just brush it. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But whenever it happened, it definitely did affect me. And
Yeah.
I even tried shaving my head and everything. I just didn't like the way I looked. I mean, some people look great with it. Some people even look better with shaved heads. I don't know. I just didn't like the way I look. I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel myself at all.
Yeah. Did that confidence affect you think, through your 20s?
Absolutely. Yeah, because I know I wasn't in high school, but I was still young. And just to have that conscience, you can't really be yourself truly, in my opinion. So, yeah, it really did affect me.
Yeah, man, I really resonate with that. I think, so I just turned 28 a couple weeks ago. And for most of my 20s, man, like I've been, I don't know, I've just been feeling like I've avoided some social interaction and it's really changed who I was for a while. Like I felt a palpable shift in not so much my personality, but it was almost like someone gave me a key to get back to who I really wanted to be. After all this work I had done personally and continued to work on my mindset, it was just this one trigger for me that, I knew I couldn't, well, I didn't feel like I could escape. And that kind of hurt me, right? It's like the thing that we're trying to hide is like the first thing that people notice, right? It's like, it's your face, and it is what it is. So it's it's a tough cookie to crack. I mean, you're 37, man, so you're still a spring chicken, even though most people say that you aren't, maybe, but you're still a spring chicken. But so this has happened a little bit later than after your hair loss started, right? So you said you shaved your head. I don't know the different styles, but you've got a collection of hats, and now at 37, you're like, it's go time. Let's really change this thing up. Like, so walk me through the journey, however long that was, of approaching trying to solve this problem.
Right. So, to be honest with you, I've tried a couple different things other than wearing hats. I tried the oils you put in your hair, the onion juice.
So that leaves you smelling like onions, man. Who'd have thought?
Yeah. I even went because my hair was actually really thin. It was like it wasn't completely bald. I had enough hair to where I thought maybe it looked okay, so I would actually dye my hair. But
Mm.
it wouldn't dye my hair; it would dye my scalp. But it would give the illusion that it looked dark. And for some reason, I thought it looked good, and my wife was like, "Please don't do that." And yeah, I tried a bunch of different things, man, and none of it was working. So just really the best option for me was just go get hats. So I carried a bunch of hats. Always got new hats, and yeah. So
Yeah, so you started wearing a lot of hats, and you eventually decided, like, what did you find out about hair systems? Did you see a video, or where you're like, I really want to tackle this, and you looked into hair transplants? Like, what was that whole process?
to be honest, Jake, I think I found you. I think you were the first person that really introduced me to it. And I
Huh.
did some more research and found out how popular it was. But you really hit it home with me by your lifestyle, your story about how you felt, like your consciousness about it. And you made me feel comfortable and just kind of, I guess, brave enough to go in and pursue it and actually go in and sit in for a consultation. So, but yeah, after I saw your videos, I went and I researched it, and I found videos back 5 years ago. So this has apparently been going on for a while. And again, I'm still new to all this, but I just kind of felt a little bit more comfortable seeing that these guys are going in, and there's a lot of guys who are just super young and good looking, but then when they get their hair, you can just tell in their face, their smile, that they're just extremely happy. So that really
Uh-huh.
hit it home with me. Basically, made me decide to go pursue it more. So, and here I am now.
Well, I'm getting all teary-eyed right now. Just, I mean, that selfish moment here, but that's I don't know. I feel I really kind of like stumbled into a passion here that I have, and it's very. I'm happy to hear you say that was able to do something for you. It's probably the first time I've had someone like directly say that I was the number one attributor to that. So I appreciate it. You're my first. I've lost my virginity of someone saying that to me.
No, thank you, man.
No, but that's really awesome, man. And yeah, there's so many more out there like you, and the people watching this. I know there's more people like us that think it's not possible. They don't know, but there's probably a crowd out there that think it's not possible to live this lifestyle. So walk me through before we get into your lifestyle. Now you decided that you're going to go in for a consultation, and you decide you get the date set and stuff like that. What were you feeling on your way to your appointment? Like, what was that like?
So my appointment, I believe, was at 1:30. I left at 10:30. I got there super early. I was freaking out. I was debating on dumb things like, should I wear a hat in? Should I not wear a hat in? Palms were super sweaty. I was
Yeah.
so nervous about what it was going to look like. I was nervous about what other people were going to think. Palms are sweaty, super nervous. Mine, just actually contemplating, should I really do this? And I don't know if you heard me, but I said I watched, of course, some of your videos for more motivation to get in and encouragement from you. And yeah, I was nervous for no reason. I went in. It just got treated like a normal haircut. It wasn't a big deal to anybody. They didn't look at me different, and it was an amazing experience for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's something that's kind of funny, because I resonate with that. Like, I was freaking out, and I think a lot of us freak out in our first appointment, and we're like, oh man, it's such a big deal. And then you just have like this super cavalier person who's like, yeah, no, I just do this all day and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna shave your head right now. And I was like, ah, I was like, felt like I was freaking out, man. And she's just like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had a mini like heart attack. But yeah, I mean, it's a thing, and people do it. And so obviously you're on the other side of that right now. You look like you're doing great. You look like you love the result. Yeah. So tell everyone a little bit about your lifestyle, because I think that's like some of the juiciness in your story. You mentioned that you're pretty active. Tell us about your lifestyle.
Right. So I do work construction. I'm a supervisor, but I do a lot of work. I pick up materials, bags of concrete, a lot of different pieces of wood, and I haul it in my truck. So I'm sweating as it is at my job. Other than that, I work out at least 5 days a week. It's a high intensity training, so I'm sweating a lot. I go running, and then I play pretty competitive slow pitch softball, which that ranges from a few games a night a week. And then on weekends, I play tournaments to where I can start playing at 9 in the morning and not finish until about 3 o'clock in the morning, depending on how good we're doing. So I'm out in the sun a lot, and I live in Texas. It's really, really hot. It's humid. You're going to sweat a lot. So I'm putting this system through its maximum potential pretty much. And so
Yeah.
far, it's held up great. When I first got it, it did lift a little bit, but that's because I wasn't used to hair. And I was on the field and it kept getting on my face. So I kept, rubbing it back with my hands, which is okay. But I just did it so much while I'm sweating that it started to lift a little bit in the front.
Sure.
So I had to go get that fixed. But they gave me some materials to get that fixed on my own, which I was able to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's part of the little tip for anybody watching this. When you first get a hair system, I think that there's this check that you want to do, like when you're sweating or like when something's going on, you're like, oh man, I just want to like check to make sure it's not lifting or something like that, which is like the worst thing that you could do, because what's happening is the bond is liquefying, if you will, because of the heat. Chemically, it's designed to solidify at a certain temperature, and it starts to liquefy or not be as solid as the temperature rises. And that's in our normal pH, or not pH range, but our normal body temperature range of like when we start sweating. And the worst thing you can do is lift up on the bond, because it actually like breaks it chemically up more. If we just leave it and just like don't mess around with it during that sweating process, and you cool down, go take a shower, you cool down, stuff like that, it's going to be fine. So that's a pro tip for anybody that's watching this and they're thinking about it. Just don't mess with it when you're hot and sweaty and stuff like that. It's fine. It's not going anywhere, and it's not going to lift off your head. So that's really awesome, though, that you're saying that, and that you're really putting it through the ringer in Texas. I can vouch for the South. It's super hot, and you're out there and you're crushing it, probably in 90-degree weather, 90-degree Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah, it's mid 90s. Real feels, I think today's like 105 outside, so it's crazy, and it's humid too. It's sticky, it's nasty outside. So
does not get much worse than that, ladies and gentlemen, as far as putting a adhesive bond through the ringer, and you're not having any issues with just like the heat. What type of unit are you wearing?
I think it's a French lace. I watched your video where it has it. It's solid around the perimeter, and it's got the cross. So it's like that, and it's got the lace in the middle.
Okay, so you got a poly border. It's polyurethane on the border, and then it's lace on the interior. That's great, man. I mean, that's a winning combination, because you get that. It's just easy to apply your adhesive, whether it's tape or a liquid on the exterior, and you get that ventilation, man, and it's magical.
Yeah, another thing about getting the hair system, I don't know how you felt, but whenever I got it on, and I don't know it's from wearing a hat all the time, I didn't even notice it was there. Like it was like normal.
Mm-hmm. Normal. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. So walking into getting a hair system, for me, I was under the impression that I was going to feel like I had something like sucked in my head. Curtis's video specifically, he kept on saying it's going to feel like you have like a really tight hat on your head. As soon as I got my first one, and I've always felt like this, I don't even know it's there. I've never really been aware by like sensation like that it's there.
Yeah,
it's part of me. We've become one. So that's really awesome, though. You're also I've got a question. Like, what did your wife think about this whole process?
Yeah, that's a good question. And also my kids. The wife really didn't want me to get it.
Yeah.
When we met, I was already thin-haired.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together for about 9 years now. So she didn't want me to get it. She just told me she loved me for who I was.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't care. She thought I looked handsome the way I am. And I understood that, and I just told her, this is to help me out. It's for my confidence, and she gets it. So after I got it done, I walked to the door, and she just had a big smile on her face. And
Aww.
she loves it now, man. So
That's so cool.
My kids, I have a boy and a girl. My girl's 8, my boy's 7, and my little girl did not want me to get it. I don't know why. My little boy, I told him, because he has kind of longer hair like me. I'm like, Daddy's gonna have hair just like you. So he was excited. He was asking me every day, Daddy, when are they gonna glue your hair on? Because I told him
That's
how it works and everything.
yeah.
But when my daughter first saw it, she didn't like it, but now she loves it. And of course, my boy is just thrilled because we had the same hairstyle and everything. And what else is funny is I get a lot now that, hey, your son looks just like you, but I didn't get that before. So it's like amazing, how hair people will see you differently. And so I of course, me and my wife, we could always see that I look like my little boy, but it's just cool to hear people say, hey, you do look like your son.
Yeah, but I can feel that that's a special thing for you. Maybe just like
Absolutely.
a little that connection between you and him.
He's
Well,
a
I think that's
handsome
really
little boy, makes him
cool.
feel handsome.
Yeah, well, you're both just incredibly attractive now. It's awful. So that leads into an interesting kind of conversation, right? Which you had people who, I don't want to say weren't supporting you, but were maybe a little bit more hesitant because of whatever. They probably had some kind of conception in their head of how it was going to turn out, or that you were going to be, let's just say it, the weird guy, right? That's wearing a wig or something. How has that changed? I mean, do you think that there has been a mindset shift for them?
I mean, I think this kind of goes with a lot of my friends too. I told a lot of my friends, and they thought it was kind of funny. You tell them how it all works and everything. I think what really changes their mind is how good it looks. Like, it's crazy. Even my dad, he was blown away. He's just like, I cannot believe they do that. I think it's just the quality and how good they've gotten over the years. I mean, people that don't even know about hair systems would never know that you and I would maybe have a hair system. Yours looks great. I would never guess, even now, if I know.
Yeah.
So I just think the final finishing product really makes them change their mind. Because whenever I think about it, you think of like toupees flying off in the wind, looking horrible, side hair. But it's just the quality and the way they do it is just amazing. So I think that changes people's minds.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's, we are probably, as a community, the most picky about everything, which is, I mean, you can see it in the comments sometimes where people have got their opinions and things like that, and it's fine. You can go for perfection and stuff like that, but no one is going to ever notice the way that you and I might, because we're looking for this kind of stuff and we know it's there. A reticular activator, right? Like, once you buy the red Honda Accord, you see red Honda Accords everywhere because you have it. But for literally 99.9999% of the population who does not know or has never had exposure to something like this, they could never ever know about it. And all these small little things about temple points or like the perfect hair, it's just like it's all moot. It's not important, in my opinion, and that's one thing I hope to normalize as a conversation for those that are very insecure about that kind of stuff. But I think it's really cool how in your experience, it sounds like you've been very open about it with many people, and you're able to normalize and destigmatize that conversation. The best part is not just for them, but for the people inside of their life. Like, so now that you have told them and they've seen you go through this journey, the most incredible part about it is if they have somebody else in their life, which they probably do, statistically speaking, that's bald, that doesn't feel good about it, they can go, hey, so I actually kind of saw this thing once that was kind of interesting that my friend Eric was using, and would you mind having a conversation with him about it, or you should look into this. And from there, just that word of mouth it opens up the possibility for someone else to conquer their problem, which I just got to commend you for being brave and going out there and being that champion for other people, because you're going to affect other people's lives now that you've done that. You will. Just will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I really like whenever you were saying to, just be upfront, tell people, you know, just don't lie to them. And I've really done that, and it's really helped me go through this, really helped me accept it. And I've got the really close friends and family that I did tell that I was getting this done, and there's some others that are just acquaintances that they're used to seeing me with the hat all the time. They're like, dude, you don't have a hat on. You're always wearing a hat. Your hair looks good. You should not wear a hat more often. So there are the people that don't know, but they just they're completely fooled. But of course, if they ask, I'll let them know just for that reason, because I would like this to be kind of normalized. It's not a big deal. Everyone, women get their nails done or whatnot. It's just, if you feel like you need to get this done just to make you more confident, then by all means do it. Don't be
Yeah.
ashamed. Go and at least to talk to somebody about it, and you never know, it could change your life, because it sure changed my life completely.
Yeah. How has it changed your life?
I think it's made me more happy. I'm not afraid to go and engage in a conversation of a group of friends without a hat on, or just be conscious. And I think I even treat my wife better. I just feel great every day getting out of bed. I love waking up and seeing bedhead. I comb my hair out. It was fun even going to buy hair products just to get shampoo and actually some sort of pomade that I haven't used in years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm just barely scratching the surface on how good this is. So it's just, so far, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, man. And I love the fact that, you're saying I love it. I'm just scratching the surface here. I don't know everything about it, and that's good enough. Like the I hope someone watches this all the way through and takes it away that you don't have to have everything figured out. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to start. And the more you delay starting, the longer you're going to live in anxiety and fear and just the state of being that you're in. The best thing you can possibly do is take action. Whether you have all the knowledge or not, all of that knowledge can be learned along the way. And there's my wise old man coming from the 28-year-old Jake. But that's my wisdom. Well, thank you so much for jumping on this with me, man. I think your experience is really powerful, and I think that it's really it can be inspirational for other men out there like you, like me, that are active. They're sweating. They're living a very adventurous lifestyle, perhaps, and maybe they've even got a wife, right? And they're like you. They're in their 30s. They're thinking, oh man, well I've been this guy for so long, and people know me. Like all this stuff are just excuses, and your experience speaks volumes to what is possible for them. So thank you so much for being that champion and expressing that. And I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.